The objective of this lesson is to plot and interpret real-world problems on the coordinate plane. In previous lessons, students have charted points on the coordinate grid. They have learned the x-axis always runs horizontal and the y-axis always runs vertical. The x-coordinate is always first in an ordered pair, followed by the y-coordinate. When using the coordinate grid to display real-world context, time is typically graphed along the x-axis and should be designated as the x value. Units assigned to the x and y-axis do not have to be the same. Let's begin with our first real-world problem. Sean just opened an online store where he sells beautiful hand-knit hats. During the week of his grand opening sale, Sean recorded the number of hats sold on each day. The two numerical values that will be charted are the day number and the number of hats sold. Let's chart some points. Start by labeling the x and y axes. The x-axis represents the day during Sean's grand opening sale. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3, and so on. The y-axis represents the number of hats sold. Let's plot our points. Keep in mind that the x-coordinate comes first in the ordered pair, followed by the y-coordinate, which means the day comes first, followed by the number of hats sold. The first point to plot is parentheses 1, 4, end parentheses. This means that on day 1 of his grand opening, he sold 4 hats. To plot this point, begin at the origin and go out 1 vertical line along the x-axis. Next, move up 4 horizontal lines along the y-axis. Let's plot the next point, parentheses 4, 12, end parentheses. This means that on day 4 of his grand opening, he sold 12 hats. To plot this point, begin at the origin and go out 4 vertical lines along the x-axis. Next, move up 12 horizontal lines along the y-axis. Continue plotting the other 5 points. Which day did Sean sell the most hats? Day 5 has the highest number of hats sold. Let's interpret some more information from another graph. The temperature in Los Angeles, California was recorded for the first 15 days of January and charted on a coordinate plane. Use the information on the coordinate plane to answer the following questions. Notice on the y-axis there is a Z-shaped mark. This indicates that the numbers along the y-axis are not consecutive from 0. What is the meaning of the point parentheses 13, 66 end parentheses in this context? The point 13 represents the 13th day of January, and the 66 represents the degrees in Fahrenheit. The point means that January 13th was 66 degrees Fahrenheit. What was the highest temperature recorded? Looking at the grid, a quick way to determine the highest temperature would be to find the highest or tallest vertical point. The highest temperature recorded was 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The objective for this lesson was to plot and interpret real-world problems on the coordinate plane. We met this objective by interpreting real-world data on the first quadrant of the coordinate grid. We also plotted real-world data.